Hi everyone, my name is Jim Rhoades and I'll be your host today on this webinar. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for trusting someone enough to take time out of your schedule to look at something that I believe is world class, worth your time. My background has been nutrition for the last 3 decades. I've been a teacher at the high school and at the university level, teaching students how to improve their lives. The foods we eat definitely make up who we are. We're regenerating over 1 billion new cells per minute, and all the material needed to regenerate that billion cells comes from what we eat, what we drink, and what we breathe. What you're about to see in the next couple of minutes is astounding. As a nutritionalist for over 3 decades, I could have only dreamt about what I'm about to present to you. At first I was skeptical, and then I looked deeper. Now I am a believer. I believe that what we're about to see can change the future of our world. And actually won a Nobel Prize in 2009. You heard me right, a Nobel Prize. But before I get started, let me share a disclaimer. The statements in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We cannot and do not make medical or curative claims. Claim that product B reverses aging or lengthens telomeres or even produces telomerase. That being said, once upon a time, everyone knew that the earth was flat. They knew that if you sailed very far from land, you would fall off the edge, never to be seen again. Until an explorer, knowing enough about sailing and seeing into the future, went on bended knee before a queen, Queen Isabella, and begged her for 3 small ships. He said, "I promise you I will come back, and I will change the world forever. I will bring you great riches, because I know the world is not flat." Thank goodness. This queen listened to Christopher Columbus, the man who proved the world is round. Did he change the future of this world? Yes, he did, for you and I and everyone who lives in it. Well, I would like to introduce you to another explorer. This man is Dr. Bill Andrews. He is a leading geneticist and biologist. At age 11, his father handed him his first microscope and said, "Bill, you've been blessed with a keen mind, a great intellect. Can you do something about disease? Will you please figure out how to get rid of disease once and for all?" Well, this young boy took it in earnest and began his scientific research. He became one of the world's leading geneticists and biologists. In about 1991, after working on the problem of disease for over 15 years, he discovered a marvelous thing. He was given the Man of the Year award for discovering it. And since then, he's gone on to be given the name, the man who would stop time. I believe, just like Christopher Columbus, the man who would stop time, and Columbus, the man who would prove the world is round, each of these individuals can and will change the future of the world. Now, how does Dr. Bill Andrews work into our day and time? Let me introduce you to a fellow colleague of his, Dr. Joseph Mercola, who is in his own rights a profound researcher, a great doctor. He has something most interesting to say about his friend, Dr. Bill Andrews.
Has anyone heard of telomere lengthening? Who hasn't? Most people. Would you like to know about that? All right, let's talk about that. Dr. Bill Andrews is a friend of mine, associate. He is the man who has discovered the telomerase gene not too long ago. He's a PhD biologist, and he runs a company. The newest research, Dr. Andrews is one of the leading scientists in this area, is to find therapies or processes that will actually cause telomerase to work in somatic cells. So they don't produce telomerase. The gene is shut off. It's actually there. It's actually there. It works. But it's repressed. They can take cells of like an 80-year-old rat equivalent, skin cells, and convert it to an infant skin cell. Literally reverse aging in every parameter measured. It's just astounding to think that's even possible. So not only do you slow down aging, you can actually reverse it.
Not only do you slow it down, did you hear what he said? What does that mean to us? Well, if he's right, and if what Dr. Bill Andrews has discovered could do what they're hoping it can do, would you want to know? Do you know anyone who's turning 65 who would like to feel like they were 45? Well, I'm one of the first ones who would sign up for that one. Let's see what Dr. Bill actually did to produce that effect that won the Nobel Prize in 2009 and made such a difference. This is Dr. Bill himself.
Recently, we have discovered that the science of human aging is really pretty simple. We age because our cells divide and our telomeres get shorter. What's a telomere? Well, to answer that, let's zoom into a human's 100 trillion cells. Every cell contains a nucleus with genes and chromosomes. If you zoom in further, you see that the chromosomes are made up of DNA molecules that are 100 million bases long, coiled up like a slinky. There are long, repetitive sequences of DNA at the end of each of our chromosomes. These sequences are called telomeres. When a cell divides, the genetic material inside that cell needs to be copied. This is called DNA replication. During this process, enzymes that replicate a strand of DNA are unable to continue replicating all the way to the end, which causes the loss of some DNA. And the ends, if you remember, are where the telomeres are. At birth, we have about 10,000 bases. But as we age and our cells divide again and again, we lose those bases. And at 5,000 bases, we begin to die of old age. As telomeres get shorter, humans begin to experience the general effects of aging. Loss of muscle, failing memory, poor eyesight, lack of energy, and slower recovery after exercise. The bottom line is this. When cells divide, telomeres shorten. And bad things happen when telomeres get short. Research we completed in 1997 established that humans also have an enzyme called telomerase that can lengthen telomeres. This research was so significant that in 2009 it was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. I lead a team of scientists pursuing this line of research, and we are virtually the only scientists pursuing it. Our recent collaboration with John Anderson's 30 years of formulating experience is yielding results beyond anything we have ever experienced. It won't be surprising to see many companies trying to enter this space and begin marketing products touted to support telomeres. But I know from my research, not all telomere products are the same. One company is leading the way with a complete system that not only addresses the causes of aging, but also provides a credible product system to effectively support healthy telomeres. This remarkable research may one day reveal the secret of living a longer, healthier life. I am grateful for the opportunity I've had to share it with you.
I hope that made sense. Can you even imagine a longer, healthier life? Of course, we can't make that claim until all of the proof is in. Well, that's being proven as we speak. But just what did Dr. Bill do to find some chemicals that would reverse the age of those mice and prove this theory? Well, let's just look at that. It took him over 300,000 experiments to come up with 8 elements that would actually affect the telomeres. The unfortunate part is that you can see the skull and crossbones right there, which tells me that it's not good for the human body. So it was back to the drawing board. Even though they could activate this enzyme, they couldn't use it. Then he met another genius. His name is John Anderson. He is a master formulator. He has formulated products and improved products for over 600 different nutraceutical companies, putting them on the map. 12 years ago, he opened a company called Isogenics, and his knowledge that he brings to bear when he got together with Dr. Bill Andrews is nothing short of miraculous. His theory was this: instead of using harsh chemicals to create the reaction of the telomere, let's use healthy herbs, botanicals. And Dr. Bill says, let's go for it. So John Anderson submitted 30 different herbal preparations. Out of the 30, 7 of them, count with me, 7 of them had the same type of a reaction as the chemicals did that it took Dr. Bill Andrews 300,000 experiments to find. Well, John didn't stop there. He continued submitting herbal preparations until he found some that were clear off the chart. And I do mean clear off the chart, as you can see here, and very heart healthy. What does that mean? Well, do you suppose that Dr. Bill himself and John are on this product now that it's available? I would think so. And let's see exactly what Dr. Bill has to say about it, as he is a world-class runner. He runs 100-mile marathons, several a year. And this is what he's observed since starting on this super product.
My endurance running has improved tremendously. And that's what the thing I hear most is that people say their endurance has gotten better. I'm 61 years old right now. Last year at the age of 60, I broke every distance record that I've ever run. And
wow.
That's everything except for the 1 mile and the 10K. I ran a sub 5-minute mile in high school. This time I could only do a 6:30 mile last year at 60 years old. I ran a 42-minute 10K when I was in my 30s. Now I can only do a 45-minute 10K. But all the other distances, the 5K, the half marathon, the 50 mile, the 50K, the 100K, the 100 mile, all those distances I broke my fastest. And I've been doing these, I've been running since I was 10 years old. I've been competing in endurance sports since I was 10 years old. So this is a pretty significant change in myself at 60 years old. I've been doing ultra marathons for 20 years, and so for me to suddenly break all my records, break the records I set when I was in my 40s is pretty astronomical as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty astronomical to break all of the records of when you were 40 in your long distance of 100-mile marathons, of regular marathons, in every long distance. You tell me, do you think this product is having a positive effect on them? Well, count me in. Dr. Bill has something else to say beyond just running and recovering better. That is something about healthy aging and what that means to us. Let's take a look at what he has to say.
90% of everybody I talk to have never heard of a telomere. And I think telomeres are the most significant discovery in medical research ever. All right, and still, as the world's still just trying to catch on to what's going on. So I want to start off with a slide. We all know that 65 is the new 45. And these people have what appears to be a very successful anti-aging protocol. Okay, they look great. They're 65 years old. And this is everybody's perception of what successful anti-aging is. But when I turn 65, I have an entirely different vision of what I want to be when I'm 65. And that's that.
When I turn 65, I have an entirely different vision. I believe I want his entirely different vision also. I think telomeres are the most significant discovery in medical research ever. Christopher Columbus definitely changed the world. I believe Dr. Andrews, in all of his research, will do likewise. Won't you join me? We have a product that's affordable, very affordable. We have a product that if you choose to share it with other people, that will help you pay for it. Get back to the person who invited you to this webinar. Tell them I'm interested. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain because there is a money-back guarantee at the end of 30 days having used the product. If you don't see an improvement, guess what? They'll refund your money. Again, we invite you to join us. Thank you for being on this webinar. Have a healthy, wonderful day.